What a headshot! What a
Welcome to Across the Pond Review. We review anything and everything about the Premier League. I'm your co-host, Owen G, and to the left of me, one of my best mates, Lewis. How you doing tonight?
Doing okay, ready to talk about some Premier League action. We finally had some Premier League action over the weekend, and let's get to it, mate.
Yeah, well, we got to start off by giving them a round of applause. Manchester City have officially been crowned Premier League champions. Well deserved, you know?
Definitely well deserved. They won the league in record time, I think.
I'm not sure exactly if they won it in record time, but from previous years they definitely won it like a bigger gap than other teams have. You know, they were unbeaten for most of the season until they fell to Liverpool, your side. I mean, they had lost 3 games straight the previous week, and then played Spurs and showed their quality once again, beating them 3-1.
I honestly thought they were going to win it against Man U, but Man U pulled out a shocker there.
Yeah, I think it was the ghost of Old Trafford that really lifted them up and was able to get that. Yeah, because there was, I mean, honestly, they won, but I don't think they played well when Manchester United came back. Hats off to Paul Pogba for getting the brace, but they dropped to West Brom this week and officially handed the title to Manchester City. And we'll talk about that match a little later. But now we have to get into the match that City played against Spurs. They won 3-1. What did you think about it?
I thought it was a solid performance by City. Very lackluster, poor from Spurs. Who scored for City? It was Jesus with the first one off the long ball from Company. Great ball. Not Pep-style football, so he probably got a little yank in the locker room.
But when your center back can play a long ball like that, perfect, right to his feet, took a nice touch, put it past Hugo Lloris.
Then second goal, I think it was it Sterling on the second one?
No, Sterling was the third one. Ilkay Gundogan scored the PK, which was outside of the box. Yeah, the outside of the box. Sterling was played through. Hugo Lloris came out, tackled him pretty badly. There was a little bit of debate about the PK because it seemed like it was out of the box.
No, it definitely was out of the box. Like, after watching the replay, I mean, obviously a mistake on the referee's part. I don't know if Spurs either way had enough in them to get themselves in the game had the call gone the other way.
Yeah, but that definitely was the cherry on top for their day. Like you said, like you mentioned, Ilkay Gundogan stepped up, put it away brilliantly. It hit off the post and went in. No way any keeper in the world would have saved that. Later on in the match, Christian Eriksen scored a nice goal. Rebound off him, a little bit of luck, and it seemed like they were getting back into the game a little bit, but to no avail.
Sterling seals it off for them to cap off what I think is his best season thus far in the Premier League.
Sure.
He's improved a lot under Pep Guardiola. It goes to show Pep's hand in player development. And, I mean, Sterling has come a long way from his Liverpool days. He was always criticized for not having end product. Well, this season, he definitely has a lot more end product to show for it.
Yeah, and he's gotten better. I feel like there's still something missing because he'll get like 3 or 4 chances throughout a game, and he'll completely whiff 2 or 3 of them, and he'll end up scoring. You know, especially with the World Cup coming up, for England, he's not going to have 3 or 4 chances. You know, Man City's a very good team. They create a lot of chances. That's why he's getting so many opportunities to score. England, especially with the group that they're in, it might be a little different, so hopefully he's on target for them.
No, completely agree with that. If he wants to take his game to the next level, be in the talks for best player at his position in the world, he definitely has to be more concrete on his finishing, I would say. But he has improved a lot, so hats off to him.
And talking about another England international, Harry Kane, you know, fighting for that top goal scorer position this year, went completely missing throughout most of the game. We didn't see much from him.
Yeah, I think it was a just tough day for Spurs. They're a team who's used to dominating possession, and I felt like City dominated that game completely from beginning to end, basically, apart from a couple of Spurs good attacks, I would say, especially on the goal. But like you said, it came down to a little bit of luck for them actually scoring.
Yeah.
So I really don't give them that much merit, even in the goal they scored.
And officially crowned champions Manchester City. And now we have to talk about Manchester United versus West Brom. Because Manchester United came off of beating Manchester City last week.
I don't understand.
And you would think that they would go play West Brom and completely dominate them. West Brom's basically relegated. There's no way that they're going to stay up. Manchester United has the level of players that could easily take this team on and beat them 3-4-0 like they have in past years.
They definitely can, yeah.
And especially off of, like I'm saying, off of a victory, coming off of a victory against City, you would think that the morale, their confidence is high. They would go into this game and just completely destroy it. And we saw something similar happen a couple weeks back when they beat Liverpool. You know, their morale was high, their confidence was high. They beat Liverpool 2-0, and then they went and lost to Sevilla, 2-1, sorry. And then they went off and lost to Sevilla in the Champions League. So what's going on with this Manchester United team? Why can't they stay consistent? Have they just been getting lucky in those results and then the true colors show when they're in tight situations? Or
I think it's Mourinho's style. I respect him as a manager because he's done a lot in the game of football. He's won a lot of titles, a lot of important titles too. But as the game evolves, management also has to evolve. And his style is considered pragmatic, slow,
defensive.
He's known for parking the bus, playing on the counterattack. And with the quality of players he has, like you said, he shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
He should be dominating games. And he's not. I mean, against West Brom, their main striker, Lukaku, I don't even know how many chances he had. Maybe 2 or 3 at most. He should be getting 5 to 8 at least a game.
I mean, when you're talking about Alexis Sanchez, you're talking about Paul Pogba, Lingard, Martial, Rashford, Lukaku. Like we've said on a number of occasions in previous episodes, they have to be creating more opportunities. He needs to understand that the players that he has to be playing an attacking-minded football. Same thing that happened to him at Real Madrid. They criticized him because he was too defensive. At Chelsea, you know, he's Mourinho. So Chelsea fans obviously loved him. The board loved him. He got the results. So that defensive style was good for Chelsea. But now at Man United, a team similar to Madrid, where people expect attacking football, scoring massive amount of goals, he's just struggling. Do you see him staying there? I mean, he just signed a contract. Do you see him staying there further?
I see him another season. Another season to show his worth. If halfway through the season, Manchester United shits the bed, let's say, and they are below 4th place, I could see him getting sacked in January.
Yeah, and it's also going to be his 3rd season, and his 3rd season at clubs has usually been his kryptonite. His 3rd season at Chelsea, ended up getting fired. 3rd season at Real Madrid, poor performances. So let's see if that 3rd-year curse is going to go on to Manchester United. It'll be interesting to see what he does next year, if he brings any people in. We know that he wants to get rid of Pogba. If the rumors are true, he's lost all confidence and all patience with Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial. So, I mean, those 2 names are going to be big in the summer. See where they go or if they stay.
Yeah, well, I mean, only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
What's the next game?
Oh, wait, real quick. Talking about transfers, we have to look at West Brom because hats off to them for playing a great game and scoring in the last couple of minutes.
You're right. You are right. Jay Rodriguez, man.
Nice goal for Jay Rodriguez.
I think a couple of mid-table, lower-table teams in the Premier League are probably looking at him to swipe him if West Brom do end up getting relegated, which is almost a certainty at this point.
Unfortunately, they're going to be relegated. I've always liked West Brom. I think that they've had quality players throughout the years. I could see, like we mentioned, Jay Rodriguez, Rondon, Johnny Evans, definitely staying in the Premier League. Unfortunately, players like Ben Foster, Morrison, I can see them going down with West Brom.
Nagazi.
Yeah, hopefully bringing them up in the next couple of seasons. We'll see how that goes. But Jay Rodriguez, mid-table side, maybe a move back to Southampton. We'll see.
I could see that maybe working out for him. They need a fresh player, some fresh blood in there to get some goals into the side. So I could see that happening maybe.
Nice. Now moving on, we have to talk about Chelsea versus Southampton. What a comeback from my boys. You know, I saw the first couple minutes of the match because I had to go.
Match.
Yeah, I had to go to an event, so I wasn't able to watch all of it. But man, I was so annoyed with Chelsea the way that they had started off the match. Aspilicueta getting beat by Redmond by pace, and then playing a ball right into Tadic and him slotting it in the first couple of minutes was beyond upset. You know, Chelsea needs to start waking up.
Yeah.
We're completely out of fourth place, but that doesn't mean we have to finish in 6th or 7th behind Burnley or Arsenal. And, you know, they showed a lot of character to come back. Giroud came in, Eden Hazard got a goal, and at the end of the day, they got the job done. What did you think about it?
I think, for me, the biggest thing to take away from the game is Giroud saves the day.
Yeah.
Because Morata started the game and had nothing to show
He's
for
so
it.
bad,
Giroud
bro.
comes in off the bench, scores 2 goals.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
mean,
quality goals, too, at that.
We've been talking about Giroud, that he should be the starting striker right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Conte has to start considering him in that role if he wants to pick up these last couple points.
Yeah, you know what it is? I feel like he's pressured. You know, we spent so much money on Morata in the summer, and he has to play him. It's almost like the board is telling him, when you buy a $100,000 car, you're going to use it, you know?
It's like when they got Torres. Similar situation.
Yeah, similar situation. When you spend so much money on a player, even if he's not at his full potential, you're still going to keep on playing him. But you're right. Giroud definitely was a great header in the first goal, and then a solid finish in pressure moments to give us the win. And I want to quickly talk about the midfield because that's, I think, where we're struggling. Cesc Fabregas, for me, great. He was a great player. He's 30 years old, not yet still at the time where he should be thinking about retirement. He should be in good form, though, right now. And it just seems that the system that we play at Chelsea does not fit him at all. To play alongside Kante, you have to have massive stamina, and you have to be very fit. And it just seems that doesn't fit that system. He's not the replacement for Matic. What do you think about that?
Well, my thing is, with Conte, he's already a smaller center mid. So if you put another smaller center mid next to him, a small player, that's 2, you're already at a disadvantage there in size. So 50-50 balls, especially in a league like the Premier League, you're going to be on the downside on that. So, I mean, Danny Drinkwater definitely has better work rate than Fabregas. May not have the same link-up play or the same eye for a pass that Fabregas has, but he's not bad, and he can ping a good long ball.
Yeah, great. He's got great passing range.
And then Ross Barkley is another one I would look at.
That would be my choice. That would be my choice to play him. I think ideally he's got the characteristics that Matic had, but like we were talking about before, and you mentioned it, he's even better than Matic because he's got the capacity to do well in the attacking third.
Yeah, his style reminds me a lot of a young Gerrard or a young Lampard. Box-to-box midfielder, classic English player who can pass out of the back, win a tackle, score a goal.
Yeah, and that's essentially what we need. It would be great to see them move into, personally, I think that they should move into next season a 4-3-3 where we could see Kante, Fabregas, and Ross, maybe Ross in a more attacking position, and to see where we can move on from here. It doesn't look like we're going to have Conte next year, so we'll just have to see. Like, it's going to be a pretty big summer with the World Cup and all these transfers going on.
I feel like next year is going to be a developing season for Chelsea. I think that they've got enough quality on the side to get into Champions League. So
fingers crossed, hopefully, because if not,
we'll see what they do from there. Well, who knows? Maybe even a run at the title since they're not going to be competing in Europe.
Yeah, like I've mentioned before, it's for Chelsea. It's either we have a really bad season or we have a really good season. We either win the title or we finish in 7th. So next year we're destined to win the title again. Who knows? New manager.
Hey,
it happened.
It does seem to happen that way at Chelsea, so we'll see.
Yeah, now we have to talk about a manager who's always there, whether he wins, he loses, he draws, doesn't matter, finishes in 4th, finishes in 7th, hasn't finished in 1st in like 15 years. Arsenal versus Newcastle. And man, Arsenal fan TV must be going crazy. They have been having a good run, and now falls apart once again. Arsenal had 71% possession throughout the entire match. compared to Newcastle's 29. And they still lost 2-1 to Newcastle.
I mean, my thoughts on this is, what is going on with Arsenal's physio team?
They're always injured. Their players are always injured.
Their key players can never seem to stay fit. Is it something on their diet? Is it something they're not stretching correctly? What is going on in Arsenal's medical room staff?
I have no idea. It should be examined. There should be an FA investigation because it's been horrible. In previous years,
I would say for the past decade.
Yeah, they always suffer injuries, and that's why these Arsenal players, these Arsenal teams have always had quality. But it doesn't matter how much quality you have if the quality is always hurt. So
I agree, 100%, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I did like one of the positives I liked from Arsenal was the Aubameyang-Lacazette partnership up top.
Yeah.
I think that could definitely do some damage with the right people around them.
Yeah.
Because you could see during the game that they had decent chemistry together.
Yeah, they had the youngster Willock and El Neni, obviously people who don't start on a week-to-week basis. I mean, if they would have had Wilshere, Ramsey, Aubameyang, like you said, with Ozil and Lacazette, I mean, that team on paper looks astonishing. It looks great, but like you said, they're always struggling with injuries. So maybe, I mean, it'll be something that moving forward next season we'll be able to see how great those players really do if they mesh together well.
Just hire a new physio.
Yeah, and for me, just hire a new manager. I think Wenger should be gone, regardless of anything. You know, and talking about somebody else who should be gone, and it hurts me to say because he's a Chelsea legend, Petr Cech. I think this should be his last season. Arsenal should definitely be in the just retire, man. The Arsenal should definitely be in the market for a new goalkeeper. We saw the first goal scored by Perez at the near post. Cech can never get beat at his near post. A sloppy goal, should have gotten to it, and it caused them the match.
No, even the second goal, I would say is like just very sloppy on Arsenal's part as well. Mustafi losing or putting that 50-50 ball back into the middle, and then Monreal losing the second header or mistiming the clearance. It's just very sloppy. I mean, hats off to Newcastle because with 20% possession, they still won the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's classic Rafa Benitez on that counter-attack. And that last goal was a solid finish. And now Arsenal are in, they might end up below Burnley, which will be even worse for them. Yeah, it will be. But hats off to Burnley, who have been consistent throughout the entire season.
Sean Dyche, I think if Arsenal are in the hunt for a new manager, I think Sean Dyche would definitely
be a good replacement.
One to look at.
Nice. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to watching Across the Pond Review. I'm your co-host, Owen G.
See you guys next time.